All year round, Frontier Home Products and Design has what you need to make your home comfortable and beautiful. Relax on a new timber tech deck designed by Frontier's experts. A new fireplace from Frontier Home Products Fireplace Gallery adds warmth and serenity to any home. Beauty and versatility at Frontier Home Products and Design Center, 4213 Peachtree, East 5th, next to the Bayfront Highway.
Frontier Home Products and Design Center. Discover a new frontier.
PA contractor number PA039007.
Get paid to drive. Start a new career behind the wheel at the EMTA. If you are looking for a high-paying and rewarding career with full benefits and paid training, stop by or apply online today with the EMTA. Plus, EMTA riders can now enjoy free Wi-Fi on new, clean, and environmentally friendly buses to travel all over Erie County. Visit ridethee.com for more information.
Get on board EMTA. Get on board EMTA. Get on board.
Welcome to TalkErie.com's Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast. Every day, we tackle the biggest issues that the Erie PA region faces. Stay informed and involved as we advance the narrative of Erie. Now, here's Joel Natale.
I'm glad to welcome back from my left here, Shantel Hilliard from the Booker T. Washington Center, also the Minority Community Investment Coalition. it's an alphabet soup. It's a mouthful. How are you, Shantel?
I'm great. Yourself?
Doing well.
Absolutely.
And James Sherrod from Martin Luther King Center, also from the Minority Community Investment Coalition. Good to see you, James.
You also. Thank you for having us today.
All right, this is like just getting caught up, kind of like a spring. How'd you guys do in the winter? What was 2024 like for you? And I really want to kind of dig into this because really, I'll make the editorial comment. You say if it's true or not, but it feels like 2024 was really when the investment coalition part of this deal really came to fruition. Like, I mean, we have buildings on the ground. We have commerce that is being generated. Like, we're like starting to move the flywheel. Mm-hmm. So am I washed up or am I accurate on this?
You're pretty accurate. Once again, thanks for having us here.
Yeah.
So 2024 for us has been a great opportunity to move this project forward. I remember when we first, did the groundbreaking and, people were, leery of where we're going to be able to get this project done. And so now when you go to that particular spot, there's an actual building that is actually present.
Yeah.
And then as you come inside, it's like, oh, my goodness, this is amazing because now there's equipment and things that are being done. And we're literally on the last portions of the punch list.
Yeah.
We're actually doing some testing of some of the crop right now. Last week, we can't sell it or do anything right now. But,
right, yeah.
But last week, I had an opportunity to get some of that crop.
I was going to say, have you made some salads or something out of this, right?
So it's amazing, and we look at this and it's like, wow, we've come a long way. So you're absolutely right, Joe. This 2024 has taken us. Obviously there's supposed to be. We're actually supposed to be growing some other things, but equipment was pushed back and some other things. But right now we're really down to the last punch item list, and it's an exciting time. So hopefully by the beginning of May, middle of April, beginning of May, we should be able to start selling and possibly making some money here.
That's cool. James, talk about like the essence of Grow Erie. Tell me the whole story. Remind our listeners about that.
So Grow Erie is a 17,000 square foot facility. It's an aquaponics facility, not a hydroponics facility, as everybody gets those two things mixed up. Hydroponics is part of the aquaponics process, So we partnered with Intag and utilize their proprietary equipment to assist us in the growing, And I know we had said earlier about the fish portion of it.
Right.
We sort of put the fish on the back burner for now. We still have the space within our facility to go to that level, but because of costs escalating from the initial phase of development to, with the whole COVID thing and the cost of materials going up, we focus more on the grow project, and so the leafy greens and the microgreens.
Yeah, I was going to say microgreens is part of this too, right?
Microgreens and, utilizing the floating beds and utilizing the inside grow facility. I think when we have our open house, that's scheduled, like Shantel said, middle of this month into next month, people are going to be amazed at what has happened on Joyce Savacchio Opportunity Park.
I love that you changed the name too, by the way.
Yeah,
from the industrial park to the opportunity park, because it really is a place where opportunities are happening here.
Yeah, and when we purchased that back in 2016, we wanted to change the view, change the vision, change the whole mindset of the people in that community, let them know that this is a project that they can be a part of. This is a project that's for the community. This is a project that's going to allow for further investment in this area. And so we're hopeful that, with everything that's happened and will happen along this way, you'll see some exciting things coming out of that area.
That's so cool. We just got an announcement from the governor about an investment on sidewalks, and so like this location for Grow Erie is very accessible, and adding the sidewalks is going to be a nice plus because there's this whole community element of this with the what is it, community gardens? Can you explain that?
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that. But first and foremost, we appreciate the governor and the governor's support. We want to make sure individuals in that area has access to the facility, and obviously, and people can walk to the facility. And so, when we looked at it, because that area hadn't had any individual support of sidewalk upkeep and things of that nature, we say, hey, we want to make sure people have access and safety access to the facility. And so we put a grant in, and we kind of forgot about it, put it in, and you just forget
that
about
does
it.
happen.
It's like, okay.
Sure.
And then we found out that it was over 149,000.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And so we were like, wow, this is fantastic. But it also
didn't our moms used to say, don't count your chickens before they're hatched?
Correct, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely right. And so we put it in and just said, hey, we'll see what happens, and kind of forgot about it. And we got it, and this is going to be a great opportunity to have individuals to have safe access to the facility, because right across the street from the actual plant, we're going to be doing a community garden. How many square feet?
I think the community greenhouse is going to be about 3,000 square feet.
See, that's
right.
Unprecedented. It's actually a greenhouse.
Correct.
This is not just seasonal.
Right.
Yeah, what's great about that is our partners, Integrated Agriculture Systems, is going to build another greenhouse next to ours that will be utilized to help the community, help schools, and so forth. So we'll have 6,000 square feet of greenhouse on the other side of the road from our facility.
Yeah, that partner of yours has really kind of captured your vision, hasn't?
Absolutely.
We met the CEO. He came to the ribbon cutting, and this thing is working on a lot of different cylinders.
So interesting that you say that. They're also moving a portion of their company into our building.
Like their research and
development. Yeah, their research and development department is actually going to be inside of our building. So they'll be leasing space for that as well, and doing their research and development portion to try to take not only this project but other projects. Because right now we probably still have 13 to 14 other acres that we can build on and expand upon this particular project. So this is just phase one. And so we're looking to become a situation where we can expand this and hopefully become one of the mainstays in this area regarding these leafy greens and things of that nature. We're working closely with Curtsy. Curtsy is working with us to purchase the leafy greens and things of that nature. So we have a partner already, but obviously, we would like to grow those partnerships to others as well. But we're really happy with Curtsy and what they're doing. The beautiful thing about these community gardens is that we want to create farmers markets and things of that nature, because that area is a food desert, right? And so we understand that, and already in that neighborhood, people are already growing in their backyards. That's what they do. That's how they do it. So we wanted to make sure they had an opportunity to be able to expand that on another level, and so. We'll create an advisory board that those individuals will be able to jump on and give us some assistance in regards to how we split those plots up in the community. So we got a lot.
Are they like 4x4, or are they going to be like big pots? How do you think that's going to come out?
I think they're going to be like those 4x8s or 4x6s. It depends on how many we can get in there.
Like the steel thing, the steel troughs kind of deal.
That's what we're trying to figure out. These are going to be raised beds.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And so depending on the size, that will determine the number of people, number of families that will be able to, get a bed or whatever.
It makes you wonder what you could grow in the winter, or because you're not really beholden to. What was typically grown here in Pennsylvania, because we have of the climate. You're inside of a greenhouse.
Yes.
Controlled temperature.
Temperature as well. So
we could grow bananas.
Controlled temperature, okay?
Oh yeah.
I've seen the electric bill.
Facility,
okay?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so you're going to want to start getting that flywheel going on the revenue side.
Definitely.
It's like the investment now has got to start returning.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the rest of those acreage? I mean, are there other ideas other than urban agriculture that could be used at that space, you think, James?
Yeah, so we've been exploring various opportunities, from a co-packaging plant to a facility that raised moths. A lot of different avenues we've gone down, creating a culinary arts space on that for training,
Sure.
But we haven't really locked into what we want to do with the rest of the acreage yet. Hey, we may put another 17,000 square foot facility next to it, depending on how things go.
It makes me wonder if there are people that are looking for warehousing or looking for and maybe the decades when it sat fallow were not the right time, but Erie's a different place now. Don't you think? It's
in the
growing.
rebuilding process.
Yes.
More innovative ideas are coming to the forefront, and more dollars are being invested in Erie. You look outside the window at downtown, how much? $50 million have been invested in downtown Erie, and now that money is going to be spread out all throughout our community because we're going to have the CREZ. That's going to create more opportunities for areas that have been disinvested in.
Is this particular plot of land as part of the CRIZ right now, or
it does set within that CRIZ area? The area that we want to
love to hear that.
Focus on developing, that Buffalo Road corridor area.
Yes. And then our organizations are also part of the grid as well. So,
there's a possibility. I mean, again, for people that are uninitiated with the CRIZ, it's City Revitalization and Improvement Zones, $15 million is being expected to be inputted into our community for investment every year on a compounding basis. They're talking about like $750 million over 10, 15, 20 years. Is amazing stuff. So
it's amazing. Yeah. So and then also to kind of piggyback off what James said and mentioning that, we've had some interest of solar as well.
Oh, there you go.
People have approached us in regards to that. So right now, you used a terminology earlier, but we can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. So,
it's exactly right.
So we definitely are entertaining other opportunities and ideas. But this project is a feel-good project for us because it will be supporting the community in the food desert. And the beautiful thing is we're creating jobs
100%.
For individuals in our neighborhood and opportunities with the farmers markets to be able to generate revenue and just do what they love to do on a daily basis. Gary has done a great job of cultivating that area with his individual people that he works with, and they do it right in their backyards. If you ever had a chance to go by and get a tour, that's what they do. The Pulse is there, and we're looking to do some training programs and some other different things to assist further as we move along and get the process right to be able to hire individuals right from that community. So it's a process.
But none of this would have been possible without the public and private sectors being involved in it, And I just always like to acknowledge those people that have been involved in it, from the city of Erie, the county of Erie, the Erie Community Foundation, Erie Insurance, Curtsy Foods, Diverse Erie, Erie County Gaming Revenue Authority. Perry stepped up when we needed him to. Erie County Redevelopment Authority, Integrated Agriculture Systems. They're like our left hand now, and we're walking down the aisle getting things accomplished, Porter Consulting, without Porter Consulting, our engineer being on site and making sure that all the specs, the design, and everything fit the qualifying factors that INTAG needed to make this happen. The Department of Agriculture, GDIC, our local lead, GDIC, also has invested in our project, along with UPNC Health Plan, First Priority, Highmark Health, and a multitude of banks. From First National Bank, Erie Bank, Northwest Bank, Marquette Savings Bank. Even one of our contractors that is on site building the facility has invested over close to $20,000 into it.
That's fantastic.
So just everything just coming together at the right time to make all this happen for this area that's been disinvested in, for this land that was named after our only woman mayor, to be spurring like this here and grabbing such attention is just phenomenal.
I just got a couple more minutes. I want to make sure we cover everything with Grow Erie before we kind of pivot from there. And off air, you guys were mentioning just the help that Tina Mangin's outfit at Erie County Redevelopment Authority put towards this. Again, this is all about jobs and economic development, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. Tina has just done a phenomenal job. Her staff and her, I think without their commitment and investment to this project, we wouldn't be where we are today. I want to thank Tina, Amy and Ty and all the staff up there, Ed Williams and so forth, because working together cohesively on this project has gotten us to where we are right now. And without all of us being on the same page and Tina giving us some solid advice and guidance, I don't think we'd be where we are today.
Yeah, there has to be a sense of positivity for the future and bullishness on Erie for all of those people to say, not only am I going to help, but I'm putting my money, I'm putting skin in the game to make this thing work. I mean, this is part of that greater movement that's happening here.
You heard James, give you the list of individuals, and the project started off like a $3.3 million project, and then it grew to $5.9 million project. So this is not a fly by night project, and so you need private dollars, you need governmental dollars, you need everybody to jump on board, to change this community. And I think Erie is headed in that direction, and the realization of that, we have to help all, in order for our community to become better and stronger, because quite frankly, to be honest with you, this area and we're working in, and not only just this area, but certain areas, they've felt hopeless for quite some time, that nobody's investing in their neighborhoods.
Right.
And so this is a strong statement that we see you, we hear you, and we want to help you. And that's what the Minority Community Investment Coalition is all about. we take that personally.
Yeah.
To be able to say, hey, we want to change the trajectory of this particular neighborhood. And
Talk about jobs. Like what when this is all fully running, what kind of jobs would be available, and how many do you think would be coming about?
So
here?
we just hired our first 3 employees, believe it or not. And these employees are the technical portion of that's needed to make the project flourish immediately. Okay. They have that background and those skills and understand the different nutrient levels that need to be in there and how the lighting affects it, the heat and the growth rate and all the stuff we don't know about.
Sure.
These young people that go to school out here and get these biochemical nutrition engineer degrees, those are the people we hired first. And so we have 3 of those people on staff. Next, when we get our facility up and operational, we're looking to hire at least 8 to 10 growers, because this is going to be a 24-hour operation. So we're going to have 3 shifts to make sure that everything is lined up and in order, so that our projected 80% growth rate or more is attainable. One mishap and the whole lot could go. I mean,
will you be like constantly harvesting? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Some from like what? Yeah.
There's some of the things that we're growing right now, from seed process to the development, and done 8 days.
Oh my gosh.
Quick turnaround. And these are some of the things that Curtsy's, requested us to do. So you're talking about some of those individuals from day 1, 8 days later, it's harvested, it's out the door, it's being sold.
So you need those production, those growers.
Yes. Quickfill gasoline is made right here in America. United Refining Company, who operates Quickfill, refines its gasoline from North American crude oil in Warren, Pennsylvania. When you buy United Refining Company gasoline at Quickfill, you keep jobs and businesses in America, and you keep American families strong. You don't need to send your money overseas when you buy gasoline. Buy American-made gasoline at Quickfill. Quickfill, driving America.
You have been called
to do good,
to feed the hungry,
to love with action,
to be a light in the darkness,
to love your neighbor,
to teach wisdom,
to walk humbly,
to love mercy,
to care for the least of these.
Will you accept the call?
This is our city.
Our mission.
Visit eriecitymission.org/volunteer to accept the call today.
We're talking with our friends from the Minority Community Investment Coalition. We've got Shantel Hilliard from the Booker T. Washington Center, and also James Sherrod from Martin Luther King Center. Also, again, they're you guys board members of?
We're founders.
Your officers.
Yes.
Of the Minority Community
Founders, officers, board members.
Gary Horton's involved with this too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, let's talk about what's happening in the neighborhoods, because Shantel, I want you to be able to chat about this new initiative that you're doing over at Booker T there.
So Booker T. Washington Center was awarded a grant from the state, which was only 12 grants in the whole state of Pennsylvania.
Oh
wow! In regards to a drop-in center that focuses on individuals who are being affected by opioid use and need assistance with, whatever it may be, some harm reduction type of things. If you need help getting ID, if you need help, getting a Social Security card. We also do transportation services. We also do laundry services. We'll help you get your laundry cleaned. And if you're hungry, we'll feed you.
Okay.
So it's a great situation. It's located at 202 East 26th Street, which is 26 in Holland, right on the corner. And we're partnering with, the drug and alcohol of Erie County, and also other entities as well. But this grant comes straight from the state DDAP. And like I said, drop-in centers are becoming more prevalent.
So what does that entail? Is that daytime? Is that 24
we're,
hours?
We're open. No, just the daytime. daytime
But
services.
to be able to get services during
correct,
the day.
Right.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
we're, and also, it's from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then we'll have services in NAAA groups as well to be able to support those.
And this is in a separate location
Yes, it's separate
than the
than-
community center.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Because you
It's
guys
on-
are full of
right.
stuff for the kids.
Yeah,
after
so we
school
have
and all.
a off-site location
Gotcha.
that this facility is going to go to, and we're going to partner with our regular partners. Obviously MCIC will play a part. We'll figure out how we work with them, and we'll work with the community in general. It's a great project. Like I said, it's only 12 across the whole state of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
We were lucky to get it, and it was it started off at 1.75 million over 29 months, and then obviously they made a little bit of cuts, but all in all, it came to about 1.5 million over 29 months.
So that's going to be good enough program, good
Absolutely.
enough funding to
We'll
be
make
able to
it-
pull this
we'll-
off.
Absolutely, we'll make it work. And,
The
be able to provide
DDAP
services.
secretary was here about a
Yes,
year and a half ago,
Latika.
right?
Mhm,
I
yes.
mean, was she able to see that kind of need?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Latika's great. She's been up here. They actually had something over the summer here.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yep. And at Prescal, we proposed that, and she said put it in, and she felt the need around here, and working with the Erie County Drug and Alcohol. I think we wrote a great grant, and we were awarded. We were, like you said, we wrote it and turned away.
Yeah.
And 4 months later, we
That's awesome.
got the call that we got it, and we're excited about being able to work in that sphere, because in our neighborhoods, there is a lot of opioid use. Fentanyl is running rampant, and so we'll be doing fentanyl testing strips. We'll be doing Narcan, giving all of that stuff away. So there's a multitude of services and programs that are going to come out of this, and we're excited that we can help those individuals.
And the thing that goes along with that is right in the community, able to help community people. They're able to come to a place they feel safe at, that they can talk to someone and be heard, and not talked down to or anything like that, So having services within the community, is going to be huge for the success of not only the people, but for this program too.
Yeah, it seems like we're getting to a place where we're knowing enough about addiction that we can really have some finesse and some real positive outcomes. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's important. In our community, it's a situation where, if they don't feel comfortable with individuals to come and talk to, we're not coming.
Right.
So you got to have individuals that are relatable, that they feel they can build a relationship and easy to talk to. And so that's what we really feel good about this particular program, is that it gives us an opportunity to build relationships and for those individuals who wouldn't necessarily come and receive resources or services, that they say, hey, that's Booker T. Washington Center, or that's MCIC that's running that program. I feel comfortable with them.
And that's the same.
Yeah, your brands are very strong.
That's the same when we got into the whole COVID thing. We got
Exactly.
into COVID because
Right.
the people weren't going to the health department. They weren't going to the hospitals because they didn't trust the hospitals or the health department. When we got in it, we were able to change that number, and focus on that health initiative.
Yeah,
'Cause
where is
people
that? Where do you think
believe
health
that
is at now, James? As far as
there's
like
a-
access. I mean, we talk a lot about health access.
Yeah, there's a lot that still needs to be approached from our community's perspective. We, got a little bit off the tip in working with bringing together for the first time the healthcare facilities to work within the systems that were created along with us. I think more of that needs to happen to address diabetes, to address hypertension, to address all the cancers that are evident within our community, just to put out there the need for a healthy community. Even we can utilize the health department's report that they did 4, 5, 6 years ago and begin right there, but it has to come from within, and the people have to have access from the entities they believe in. And
Yes.
that's why the COVID topsy-turvy was easy to change.
I mean, is there a model in community centers across the country of like primary care living at a community center, for example?
Well, go ahead,
that's
James.
how it all started.
That's how it all started. Yeah.
Oh, is that Bayfront NATO? Is that what that was?
Yeah, when we had the medical facilities at Booker T and JFK and MLK, and then, you know, the changes happened and primary health care came in and ran and operated it for us. And then the whole primary care switched to, okay, we're going to let you guys run all this here. They changed their name to Community Health Net, and the hospitals bought out the service. And, you know, now today
So there's a history
we
there.
have Community Health Net. We have
Sure.
meds, and we have the place over at ECAC, you know. But when Mr. Ernest Denny and Mr. Harrison and Alex Thompson, the founding director of MLK, got together and realized and understood in order to build community, they had to have a healthy community.
100%.
That's why they started medical and dental within the community centers that used to be known as NATO 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So, you know, just to piggyback off of that, I'm going to just be blunt. There's not enough being done.
Is there high demand and they just can't handle it, or is just the access itself difficult?
The access.
Access.
Okay.
So, you know, we've had this conversation, and so MCIC and our organizations will definitely regroup and come back to that, because there's opportunity to create a more healthy community. Our people do not have access to the necessary resources that should be afforded to them. And the powers that be, whomever they are, should be working with us to create that atmosphere. And, you know, I'm not blaming any or pointing any fingers at anybody, but we know that, and James just mentioned it, and this is no slap at anyone, but, you know, there hasn't been a report done for the minority community for over 4 or 5 years that I know of.
Yeah.
We're not aware of it, you know. But
My understanding, too, is that the health department, I think, is due for another strategic plan. Is that accurate? I'm trying to think. We just had Aaron Marenick on last week.
Yeah, I believe
I think they're up for another
They're in the process of taking a look at another strategic plan, updating the plan they have, and, you know, calling people to the table to have some input. Yeah, definitely.
And we work very close with Aaron in the health
Sure.
department during the COVID situation, and you know, we would love to work with them even closer in regards to that. You know, I'm just saying, you know, when you're doing these plans or things of that nature, there should be representatives from the community helping and sitting beside you to develop these plans. And that's not taking place, you know, and that's, you know, that's, like I said, I'm not trying to point.
And it's not just across the health borders; it's across a multitude of borders.
Correct.
Right.
You know.
A lot of our initiatives, unfortunately, you know, the inclusivity is difficult because, let's just face it, there's not a lot of African American CEOs that are out there, whether it's in the nonprofit space or in the for-profit or even in governmental spaces, honestly, right?
Sure.
Well, there's more than you would believe there is.
But I mean, they need to be welcomed into these spaces then.
Right.
Because when we're having a community conversation, we you know, I mean, we're going to have a community conversation about diabetes. Heck, you know, we got to have African American voices in there, because
you would think, right?
Because that is one of the number one killers of African Americans in the nation.
Sure.
And we have chronic illness in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yes, we do.
It's not good. We smoke too much, we carry too much weight, and we don't exercise enough. I mean, I'm not saying anything.
No, absolutely not.
I'm working on that myself.
I'm rubbing my stomach right now. Like, wait a minute.
100%. And so, but I mean, again, there's, you know, one of the things we learned in COVID is, you know, attitudes about
There you go.
medical, right?
There you go. Yeah, you have to change the attitude of the people that you serve, and got to change the attitude of the people that want to serve you. You know, and it has to be inclusive, and it has to be tailored.
Yeah.
You know, to meet the needs of that particular population.
Yes.
You know, one shoe don't fit everyone. Or what does Gary say? I forget the saying what he said.
Yeah,
but,
he says a lot.
Yeah, it's just it has to be tailored.
Yeah. So okay, I'm going to go there then. So we're having a serious conversation. I want you to talk about again. I always say that education is. I believe in what Tim Scott says from South Carolina. Education is like magic. You know, education took me from 18th Street to be able to have my own talk show over years and years and training and learning and so on. We have is it 70 or even under 70% graduation rate at Erie High?
Yes. It's a 70% graduation rate.
What, in your opinion, again, from your perspective, what do we do about that? Because you know what that does? It keeps jobs out of our community. Because you know, if you're a site selector, what's the first thing you look at?
Yeah, companies don't want.
How good are these schools?
Yes.
And I'm not saying we have bad schools, but we got to do better. And I know I went there. I'm sorry.
No.
I don't think we can blame it all on the schools.
No, of course not.
You know, I think it has to start at home. You know, you have to have a solid foundation at home that's built on wanting your children to be successful and putting them in situations that they can be successful at, and then working with the school and with your kids to make that happen. You know, we've gone through a lot of studies through our school districts, even the parochial schools, you know, and that's why they're doing some changing right now too, I imagine. But, you know, the old saying, it takes a village. It truly does.
Yeah, I agree with that, you know, and, you know, my organization as well as James and Gary as well, we've had a relationship with the Erie School District over the last, 3 to 5 years, and we've developed that, and we appreciate their support for us.
Community schools, that's a good model?
Well,
okay.
Good model. But we talked about being inclusive.
Yeah.
I think should be more inclusive, put it that way.
It's moving in a more positive direction, and it is having some impact.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely having some impact.
You know, so, and I'll just give a quick background. We started off as one of the partners, our organizations of the Community Schools Initiative.
Okay.
And I think we did it for 2 years, and then they went in a different direction.
Okay.
You know, and so my point is that you can't do it alone. You know, you need support from organizations like ours. Because guess what? When Sally and Susie leaves the Erie School District, where do you think they're going? They're going to programs like the Booker T. Washington Center, Martin Luther King Center, Urban Erie, John. They're going to these organizations for after-school programming.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to work with us in order to try to make things better, which they have. I'll be very upfront. They've supported us the last 3 or 4 years.
More intentionally.
More
the last 3 or
intentionally.
4 years. They've always provided some support.
Right. But this year was a little more difficult. We had to fight. We had to fight for the dollars this year. Yeah.
Are we in a situation where we're still, tearing down old silos? I mean, do we still need to attack the silos and do that work as a village? I'm a faith guy. Mm-hmm. I come from the faith community. I feel like churches are engines that are kind of, could do a lot more, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, and so on.
So I would be remiss if I didn't, say this. And I know they have initiatives going in that regards to more teachers that look like the student population.
100%, yeah.
You know, that's an important piece that really needs to be addressed. And I know the Erie School District have implemented some new processes and some new things.
Career pathways
and things of that nature. And I applaud them for doing that. But that is one of the most significant ways that we can change the trajectory of the education of these individual students, looking at people that look like them. That gives inspiration. So we need to do more with that. And I know the district is going in that direction. Hey, you know, and I love the brass at the Erie School District now. I have a great relationship with them. We have a great relationship with them. But look what they just did, you know, in regards to a new superintendent. She's of color.
Yeah, right? we haven't come outside of our district, what, 50 years, you think, James? Or at least, right? Yeah. I asked the question, I'm like, this is a truly remarkable development at the Erie School District.
Not since I was a student in school. Okay? Seriously.
Right? I believe it.
So, you know, that's a situation where, you know,
again, we don't want to just delineate issues and problems.
No,
we want to be
not.
about on the solution side, and you see solutions happening.
Absolutely, and we stand with the district because we've been, you know, doing programming with them and having that relationship with them. So, you know, we will always be there for the district. No matter what, and those students.
Because we see 60, 70 kids every day in our facilities after 2:30.
And let me say this. Remember when we visited you in our first year? We did the whole show from Booker T. And I was just so impressed by those young people. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know, they have a trajectory of where they're going. They knew what they wanted to do. And they were brash and they were excited and they were articulate. I mean, it was just a really cool experience for me to see, you know what, this is you make the investment from caring adults into a young person, and it does not come back void. The investment does not come back. I'm using biblical, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so
absolutely.
So the bottom line is, you know, by including everybody, if we can build you know, build context of pride, honor, respect, and growing together and listening to each other, you know, and here I'm talking about, I'm saying, listen before you speak, you know, I mean, that kind of stuff, you know, because our community depends on it. Erie depends on it.
Absolutely.
Our growth in Erie is going to depend on it. It does depend on it.
Well, you know, even, you know, the state of Pennsylvania, you know, I have a son that's graduating this year, you know, from the 12th grade, and this year, you know, as someone that's looking for all scholarship opportunities that you can, you know, to pay for college, you know, so there's a new program that just came out this year. It's called Grow PA.
Nice.
And so what that is basically they're trying to keep individual graduates in the state of Pennsylvania, so you can get up to $5,000 scholarship. If you go to a school in the state of Pennsylvania, but then after you leave, so say if you go to the school for you go to get the grant for 1 year, you have to then stay in the state of Pennsylvania and work in the state of Pennsylvania for 1 year.
That's cool.
Without having to pay it back.
Yeah.
So there's people in the state of Pennsylvania. We understand that a lot of our graduates are leaving the state. They're leaving. So we need to find ways to keep them in the state. So that's no different than, you know, investing in our students at an early age to be able to filter into programs like Grow PA.
Yeah.
So the mindset is right.
Yeah.
But I think we need to be more inclusive of those individuals that are working with those youth after those specific hours.
I've got less than 30 seconds. So in a nutshell, what could we look forward to here from MCIC in the next months as we navigate 2025? Oh my gosh.
Well, I know you definitely have to look forward to our open house.
That's coming up in a few weeks, yeah?
It's coming up in a few weeks. Come down and get some of the leafy greens and microgreens that will be growing, you know, From there, I would say keep your ears attuned, keep your eyes open, because there's a lot of great things that's coming down the pike for MCIC in the area that we have our facility in.
Fantastic. We'll leave it there. Shantel Hilliard, James Sherrod. Thank you guys so much. I feel like we could go another hour.
Absolutely.
But we will pause it at this time. Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You've been listening to The Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast from TalkErie.com. Subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher and get involved by emailing joel@TalkErie.com.